Hi, this is a first look at classrooms from HealthTasks. If we toggle over to the classrooms tab here, we can see our classrooms, and at any point you can always just shrink the sidebar just to get more screen real estate. From here, we can add new classrooms. We can see all of our existing classrooms, search existing classrooms, as well as also toggle between all classrooms and only active or archived classrooms. This is just our way of keeping data. Instead of allowing you to delete, you could always archive a class and then unarchive it if you need it back. You can click on any of these classrooms at any point just to go into the full classroom analytics, and you can see the overall hours, skills, and evaluation scores for every student who is in this class averaged together. We can also see the individual students listed down here. Let's toggle up here and you can see different classrooms that you have. You can click on a different one just to see different numbers, and this classroom has multiple students, so it's probably a better example to show. We can see individual students, and we can also see their variance between their scores individually as well as the class benchmark. We can also toggle between students and skills progress to see a breakdown of the skills progress for the entire classroom. So we can see in this example, there's only one student who has 100% completion and the other one has a 0. But in real life, this would be a little bit more differentiated. So you can see strong areas for the whole class, weak areas for the class, and just to see where do we need to focus our attention in order to make sure that we complete all of our skills. If we click on an individual student, it'll bring us into their individual student dashboard, which looks about the same, but it's specific to the one student. So we can see their overall hours, skills progress, and evaluation scores. We can see all of the clinical logs that they've submitted to this one classroom right here. We can also toggle over to see their exact skills progress percentages across all of the template. So we can also see evaluation scores over here. We can see at any point, just click on one of these and it will jump you straight into the evaluation. You also have a commenting system back and forth that you can put just to have notes about evaluations. Students can make these comments, evaluations, and preceptors can also make these comments. Going back to clinical logs, you can click on a clinical log and it will jump you into the clinical log detail page where you can see the date of the log, the number of hours that were logged, as well as the start and end time specifically. You can see the location that the student was at, the classroom that this is associated with, as well as the approval status. You can also see all of the notes that the student submitted for this clinical log. If they put in any ICD codes, those will also be shown here, as well as all the clinical skills that they submitted for this log. You can see that the student put in vital signs, they performed it 4 times, they assisted 4 times, and they observed them 5 times. And then we also have the curriculum objectives area. So this is where if you have mapped curriculum objectives to skills, those will also be shown here, as well as any reports. Once again, just like evaluations, we have a commenting system on the side where you can see the entire approval status log throughout the history of this entry. And then you can also go back and forth at any time. You can change logs from approved back to pending or rejected if you made a mistake. And you can just comment back and forth. Both students and preceptors can go back and forth here. If students need to revisit old logs, put in reflection notes or anything like that, they can always do so here. Edit a classroom at any point if you need to make an adjustment. For example, if you needed to rename the classroom, you could do so here. You can associate a new location with it based on your locations that you have in the system. You can assign a template for skills, and that way you can enable automatic progress tracking. And you can also set the required number of hours for this classroom here, which will also enable the automatic progress tracking of hours. And that is a look at classrooms.